How's it going? Today we're replacing the rear shocks on the Toyota Tundra. These are the original Bilstein shocks that came with it, so they're 15 years old, 250,000 miles on it. It's just time to do it. Your first step is going to be take off this 17mm nut right here. It's really tough to do because as you spin it, the entire shaft of the shock spins. The trick I ended up using was using this adjustable right here at the top to hold it in place while I broke it free with the 17mm. I've also seen some people that had success with using one of these, I don't know what it's called, lockable pliers I guess, and to hold the shaft in place while you break it free. But either way, it's broken free now, so next step is take this nut off of here. Okay, it started spinning the shaft again, so I'm just going to put these pliers back on here to hold it in place. Also, make sure you order this bushing up here. It might not come with the actual shock when you order it, so you might have to order this separate. You do with the Bilstein right here. And there it is, free. Okay, so now here we are at the bottom of the shock down here. You're gonna need to get this bolt out. So 17mm here, 17mm here. Loosen it up. All right, so now I got this one free. And from here, pop it out. The easier way to get this thing out is if you just put a jack right here, jack it up a little bit, but if you're stubborn like me, you work it out. And there you go, it's free. And now from here, you just push it out, and then boom, you got your shock out right here. Go ahead and take that off. Pay attention to how it was sitting. This part right here was sitting down, so it went all together just like that. All right, now here we've got the comparison of the old versus the new. You might be able to see some cracking on that rubber there versus brand new. This, like I said, this has been in for 15 years, 250,000 miles on this thing, so the ride should be a lot better. Really looking forward to it. All right, one thing I did not know about with the new shock is that when you get it, it comes with like a band that goes around it. What you're supposed to do once you cut that band off is you gotta compress it and let it go a couple times to like exercise it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Push it all the way down and let it rise on its own. And then just do this for like a few times. I don't really know what the purpose of this is, so if someone knows it's watching, put it in the comments. Give us all some education. Now, like I said with the old one, pay attention to how all this goes on here, because you got to replicate it right here. So it's pretty easy. Make sure this giant washer is facing up. Slide that on, and then you put the next bushing, and then this bushing will go on top of everything, and then you'll screw it on from up there. All right, so now pretty much do the opposite. Slide the top in. You're gonna want to fit in the bottom here first. And like I said in the first part, you might have to manipulate it a little bit. I'm gonna try to just compress this shock and slide the bolt in, but we'll see if it works. Highly recommend jacking this up, otherwise you can get in there, but it's a lot of effort. All right, so once you got it on there, go ahead and screw this back bolt back on there. Get that tightened down a little bit. All right, so the next, slide the bushing and everything over. Grab your original 17mm, start screwing that back on. And we're tightening both the top and the bottom to 66 foot-pounds. Now I'm still working on it, but you may have noticed when I first put the nut back on up here, there were hardly any threads available. But as I'm tightening it down, this bushing and I assume this bushing up in here are both getting squished together. So don't worry, it'll get compressed. All right, so at this point, as I'm tightening it, it's spinning the internals of the shock. So I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna hold this in place while I tighten it down, and hopefully I have a socket that'll fit over here with my torque wrench. But kind of doubtful that I'm going to be able to fit a torque wrench up in here. And sure enough, I'm going to need some long sockets, and still doubtful whether the torque wrench will fit over here. But I'm just going to tighten it down as much as I can, pretty much for right now. I'll come back and check it later. Alright, so the bottom's good to go. But hey, that's pretty much it. Just get everything tightened down and good to go, and now you got yourself some new shocks. It's not too bad.